It's Alana in a rich man's world. Angie, you sing it. You're the singer in the group. Well, we probably have multiple singers in the group. But we're talking about money tonight because it is a very important topic that we as businesswomen need to feel comfortable with. We need to get a handle on how to manage our money. And if you were on the training last night and Dawn Sweeney was our speaker, she talked about having a financial goal, didn't she? She talked about having something that you specifically want to pay for with your business, because then that really helps kind of devise the whole plan that you have. I mean, it's kind of like, think about a target. If you're shooting an arrow, if you don't have a target, how do you know where you're shooting, right? How do you know if you hit the target or not if you don't have a target? So even if you keep it really basic and you just say, my goal is to have an extra $300 a month in my Mary Kay account because I made $300, then you know you need to sell $600 a month, right? Because half, and that's just a ballpark here, because of course there's discounts, there's the 60/40 that we're going to look at in a minute, but you know you're going to have to sell probably more like 700 so that you can keep the 300 profit for yourself. But you may have a bigger goal, right? You may have a goal of like, I am going to contribute and pay this certain bill, whether it be anything from the grocery bill or you're dining out, whatever you like to do with going out to restaurants with your family, or the mortgage, right? Maybe it's a debt that you're paying off, a college loan or another credit card debt, and you're chipping away. And every month you're putting a certain amount of money into that account to, bring that down. So that's where it has to start, ladies, and find the thing that is really important to you. Don't use the thing that is just not as like exciting or meaningful to you. Don't do it just because you think like that's what you're supposed to do. And it is helpful to have it attached to something that is like emotional to you, not just, I want to sell $600, right? Why? Why do you want to sell $600? What is that $600 going to do when you have that profit? What's that going to mean for you and your family? So start with the goal. That's where it has to start. And of course, we could go more into having that vision board and you put stuff on the poster so you see what you're working toward. That's like taking that goal even further so you can visualize that vision of what that money is going to do for you. Some people put it on their phone, their screensaver on their phone or on their computer too. There's a lot of things you can do to put that goal in front of you so that you don't forget about it. And by the way, that's your director's goal. I'm sorry, your director's job is to keep putting that goal in front of you. So you share that vision with me, and I'm supposed to keep reminding you of it when you forget. When you lose hope in that financial goal, when you lose focus or direction, my job is to help you remember it. Okay. So that's why having a conversation with me about it is really important too. So I can help you stay focused on that target. Okay. So that's number one. Number two is you are going to, I'm going to see if my whiteboard will work. The thing about this whiteboard is sometimes not everyone can see it. Can you see the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
See you moving things around. Yeah, drawing on it, sure.
Okay. So let's just say somebody said, all right, let's just do 1,200. Okay. I am going to need to sell $1,200 so that I can have about 500 profit. Okay. We're just going to make our numbers in our head right now. We know that normally it is a 50% profit, but we also know there's going to be some discounts and there's also going to be some business expenses that go along with that. So we're going to say with this amount the 1,200, if we sell 1,200 in a month, we should have $500 to do whatever we want with. That's our profit. So the 1,200 is going to be made in a variety of different ways. And you're going to have these lines. This is called the bubble strategy. The bubble strategy is where you create these strategies of how you're going to sell the 1,200. And you have bubbles for each one. So you may have, for the holiday selling season, let's say for December, you may be trying to do some Fab 5 in 5s. Okay. And you may say, well, I'm going to do, I would say about 2 of those a week. And I'm going to do it 3 times, let's say, in the month of December. So if I did 2, 4, 6, it would be 6 Fab 5 and 5s. And then you ask yourself, what's going to be my average per face for a Fab 5 and 5? Well, let's just say it's going to be $75 because that is our average across the board in Mary Kay. $75. I'm going to get my calculator out. Times 6 sessions is $450. So that's the amount that I'm expecting to make from my Fab 5 and 5s in the month. And then let's say I'm going to have one party. I already have my hostess and she's set up. Well, probably my party is going to be at least a $400 party because she says she's got 5 or 6 people coming. Maybe it's a Facebook party. Maybe it's a Zoom party that you're inviting people to, but you've got one party with one hostess and you're committing to selling $400 and coaching that party. Okay. The other thing is you could do some on-the-go selling. Maybe you have your basket and you're going to be selling to people at work. Your coworkers are your customers or your Bible study friends, and you're going to sell on the go. You're going to try to sell at least, let's say, $50 a week. I'm saying minimum numbers just to keep it so it seems believable. Okay. But I know you could sell a lot more than that. But if you did that 4 times, $50, that's $200 in sales for the month of December. And then, what would be another way? Maybe men selling some products to men so that their wives can get some gifts. And maybe you sell to 3 men and, on average, you're going to sell about 75-ish. So you sell about 200 to the men. All right. So you look at your numbers and you add up your numbers. And if you add up each of these numbers, you are selling $1,250. So now you know exactly what you need to do to be able to get those $1,200 in sales. This is called the bubble strategy. So every single month, you can do a bubble strategy. Every single month, you can ask yourself, what's my goal? What's the amount of profit that I want to take home and have in my bank account? And then you know what your plan is and you know what you need to do. You need to book people for the Fab 5 and 5. You got to coach your hostess. You got to get your basket ready and you got to contact men. You can even get down to even how many attempts you need to make to get those different amounts to happen. Any questions about the bubble strategy? Some of you have already done it for this month, right? Hopefully you have some kind of a plan. That's what a business plan is. It's a bubble strategy. And it helps you break it down because if I said to somebody, okay, I bet you could sell 1,200 this month, they would look at me like, huh? You think I could sell $1,200? It seems so big and scary, but when you start breaking it down into smaller chunks, it's really not that big and intimidating. You really can break it down into smaller amounts that are easier to swallow, right? They say that's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time, just breaking it down. So then we have our 60-40, and let me see if I can pull up this. And I am watching the clock, Angie. Sorry, you're going to have to go really fast. This is an example of the 60-40 split. And this is how we figure out how much profit we are making. So in this example, the person in a month is having a $250 week every week times 4 weeks. So this person sold $1,000 in the month. So what she did was she had 600 of it goes to the product and the business supplies. So that's what's the 60%. 50% is what we pay Mary Kay for the product. We have to buy it from Mary Kay or we replace it out of our inventory if we had it on our shelf. We replace that product and make sure we have product on our shelf again after we sell it. But it also has to cover the expenses like the samples, maybe for shipping and handling supplies, and then other expenses you might have. But it's important to not let these business expenses go over that 10%. So be careful with how much you're spending on samples and business supplies, because that's how sometimes we get to the point of feeling like we didn't make any money because we spent all of our money on all this extra stuff that we really didn't need. And that's why I do recommend having your customers pay for part of your shipping cost. Charge your customers $2 at the minimum for every purchase for shipping and handling. If you are concerned about, getting some of that money back, I recommend it. If I were a new consultant, I would definitely start with that from the beginning because then your customers wouldn't think anything of it. Or some people do like anything under $75, they do pay full shipping. $5.95 if they send them a CDS order. But then orders over 75, they get free shipping, or over 100. You can decide how you want to do your shipping costs, but don't, let it take up all of your profit. But then the 40% is your paycheck. And that's, in this case, $400. And it does show that if you had taken out a loan and you have money on your credit card because of other orders that you have placed in the past, you would take out a part of that. Like in this example, they're saying take out $100 and put it toward that, paying down that credit card. So the rest, the 300, would be your free and clear profit. So it is difficult, and I know we'll probably have to continue this conversation more later. It's difficult to always figure out, what am I making? Where is my money? And that's why you have to do your weekly accomplishment sheet in Mary Kay in Touch. If you put your orders in and you add them in on the weekly accomplishments, you will be able to have a record of what you sold in the week, and then you will see what your profit is. And that's the money that you need to pay yourself every month or every week, however you like to do it. Make sure that that money is going into your bank account so that you can give yourself your profit. Now, in the beginning, when you're new, you might not get as much profit because you're paying off maybe your initial investment, or you're investing in some products to get started with for demo. But as you get further along in your business, like several months in, you're going to start getting this system of depositing money into your bank account. When you've got money coming in from Zoom and credit cards and Cash App and checks, you have to keep a record in your weekly accomplishments so you know, what did I make this week and how much am I paying myself? Okay. And the rest is your money that you can use to or reorder the product, or it's the money you use to buy the product. So that's, in a super short nutshell, money management. And I know we have to stop because I've got to let Angie read off our queens. So if you have questions, you can put it in the chat. And we do have our Level Up Zoom tonight. So we're going to have to move on over there in just a sec. So Angie, where are we? Who's our booking queen?
Okay, our booking queen is Betsy with 4 bookings.
Awesome.
Yay,
That's
Betsy.
4 bookings. Let me take your picture, Betsy. New grandma of twin girls.
All right.
That's so exciting. Let me take your picture first. Tell everyone their names. I love their names.
Penelope Scott and Collins Elizabeth.
Yay!
I got in there.
Awesome.
Very nice.
All right, keep on going, Angie.
Okay, queen of, where are we at? Sales?
Or faces.
Okay,
Yep,
queen
either
of
one.
queen of faces is Rita with 5 faces.
Awesome, Rita. Are you there, Rita? There she is. Oh, we got the sink going on in the foreground. Okay. All right, let me take your picture. There we go. 5 faces. Congratulations, Rita. All right. And
right.
who else?
Queen of Sales. We going on to sales?
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Sales is Betsy with 510.
Awesome. Look at that.
Double queen. Whoop, whoop.
Helping her
Wow.
daughter with the babies and has a $500 week.
All
Yay.
right.
Good. Wow.
Well, you had one lady who bought like over $300, right?
Yeah. Well, it was 240,
Uh-huh.
240 something. Yeah. And then somebody else that same week bought, 60 some. So it was
Mhm.
300.
That
Nice.
helps. Seeing
Yes,
those
it does.
individual faces.
Yes.
Women will spend it. You sit down and you give them your time, you will get those big sales. Awesome. And how about shares?
We do not have a queen of sharing.
Okay.
We still got to work on that, ladies. So
Positions are open.
positions are open. I do want to
Mhm.
commend everybody for all the efforts they put in for everything this week. Everybody got sales, and that was awesome.
Yes.
So I'm excited about how good everybody's doing, just putting forth that effort. We're a great unit.
Yay. Thank you,
Love it.
Angie.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you're going to see that on the Level Up Zoom. So we're going to hop over there. It is Laura McKeever's phone number, and I'll put it in the chat if you guys want to have it, but I did send you the link for it. And you're going to go into breakout rooms when you're there. So just kind of know what level you're at. So if you're a red jacket, you get to go to the red jacket room. And we're going to hear from some really great trainers. If you're not a red jacket, you're going to stay in the consultant room, and guests are able to come as well. So there's different rooms for different people, and it's starting now. So let's head over there. And thank you all for being on tonight. I hope that was a little helpful. And we will talk more if you have more questions about the money, money, money. All right, Janine, we got to